The Alesis Andromeda A6 is a true analog synthesizer using 2 analog oscillators per voice, sub-oscillators, hard and soft sync and more. It features 16 voice polyphony. With the Andromeda, you'll find a huge range of tonal possibilities: searing leads, warm pads, fat bass lines, extreme sound effects and more. And of course there are plenty of knobs, 72, and buttons, 144, even an assignable ribbon controller for addictive hands-on real-time control. The large high-resolution LCD display is excellent and shows you actual rather than relative values of parameters. Andromeda will integrate seamlessly into any studio with its total MIDI control and sync, individual voice outputs, stereo outputs and several audio inputs. Andromeda is completely analog, no emulation. It features 2 analog filters per voice that sound great. They are a multi-mode 2-pole and a 4-pole low-pass. External audio can be routed through these filters to 3/1/4 jacks. As for modulation, Andromeda has 3 LFOs, each with 6 waveforms, and they can be synced to MIDI clock. And there are 3 7th-stage envelopes with very creative and flexible functions. Also on board is an extensive mod matrix for enormous freedom in configuring Andromeda's sounds. No analog synth would be complete without a set of classic effects and features. Andromeda also offers portamento with 9 slopes and legato functions. A built-in arpeggiator and analog style sequencer are available, with MIDI sync. There are also some high-quality digital effects such as reverbs, chorus, echo, distortion and more. Andromeda comes with 256 breathtaking preset patches, plus 128 user. A PCMCIA format memory card slot allows for additional programs and mixes. Andromeda is pure analog bliss, with all the features, stability and widgets of modern digital synths. If you're even vaguely interested in analog synthesizers, you have encountered the hype surrounding the Andromeda. Indeed, the analog-loving communities on the internet have been buzzing about it non-stop for the year it has taken for the announcement to turn into reality. So here it is, the review of the first Alesis A6 Andromeda in the UK. Let's get one thing out of the way before I begin. Despite Alesis's claims to the contrary, the Andromeda 16-voice real analog synthesizer, as they call it, is not a real analog synthesizer, at least, not completely. Huge chunks of its architecture are digital, and I'm not only referring to the digital effects, the microprocessor-controlled operating system, or even the memories. No, the controllers in the sound generation system, the envelopes, the LFOs, and the sample and hold are all digital, as is the oscillator tuning, although not the oscillators themselves. This makes the Andromeda a hybrid analog/digital synth. Much like, for example, the sequential Prophet T8. However, the signal path is analog. Alesis has even placed the digital effects section in a side chain. This means that, if you avoid these, the output from the Andromeda remains pure analog, all the way from the oscillators to the outside world. 40-pixel backlit LCD in the center of the control panel. You can program sounds without referring to the screen, but you won't get far. This is because the physical controls call associated menus, and you then use the 8 soft knobs and soft buttons located beneath the screen to edit the hundreds of parameters that comprise a patch. It sounds complex, but it isn't. For example, if you touch the FREQ knob in the Filter 2 section, a screen appears. This displays 6 virtual faders and 2 selection menus controlled by the soft knobs, plus 4 page tabs selected by the soft buttons. Turn a knob, and the associated virtual fader moves up and down, or the menu selection changes, as appropriate. Press a button, and a linked page within the Filter 2 section appears, complete with its virtual faders and menus.